Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Costello and I am the YA fantasy author of the Ritual Saga. Welcome back. I haven't posted a video in almost a month now since the end of NaNoWriMo. I originally had plans to do like a NaNoWriMo recap once my winner's t-shirt came in and be like, hey, I won, yay, let's talk about Nano. But then the shirt didn't come in right away and work and life, and I think you can tell I'm not actually home right now. So I was secretly getting ready. By the time this video goes up, just in case, my parents should know, I actually am currently in Savannah, Georgia. I'm surprising my family. They don't know that I'm coming to Florida to celebrate Christmas with them with my grandmother and everybody. Everybody thinks that I was staying in New York for work. So, devil grin. So I was getting ready, prepping for that and for that trip. So, yeah. So, my aunt's apartment is great, and there's so many Christmas lights and flashing stuff everywhere. So, I hope this isn't too annoying. It's everywhere. It's great. I love it. It's Christmas. But I did want to jump on and do a little end of year recap about everything that's gone on this year, what are some of my plans for next year, and do a brief recap of Nano and all of that stuff. So, starting with Nano, I had a lot of fun this year doing the the Sunday night write-ins on my channel. It was really great. I got to know some of you pretty well in your stories and your writing processes, and it was pretty dang cool. The last one did end a little bit weird. I'm just gonna leave that be. It was weird. It happened. I had some weird people come on. They were deleted, so if you go back and look at the live stream, you can't see any of the comments or anything, but I got kind of weirded out, so I left. It's pretty much what it came down to, and it didn't seem like any of my regular people were on. So if you were on and such, I'm sorry. Which I did mention in my vlog. But I did win Nano this year. I was originally planning on continuing to write the story and try to finish it out before the end of 2019. However, I've decided to let it sit for a bit longer. It needs a bit more, and I feel like what I have started is actually like part of the first and the second books in the series, so I need to take some time to look at it, really re-outline and draft it, and see. I might just write as much of it as I can and then break it up and go from there. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. I did figure out more of a title for a series. I'm just going to go from calling it Project SS to Project GG. Not like GG, like G-I-G-I, that's GG. So if you want to take a guess at what GG could stand for, I don't think I mentioned it in the vlog, so you can take a crack at that. And if you get it right, I don't know, you'll get something eventually. That's such a great thing. But I do know quite a few of you were using the worksheets and stuff on my website, which are still there. I am thinking possibly for Camp NaNoWriMo of doing a sort of like downloadable workbook prior. So if that would be something you'd be interested in, let me know, because I definitely want to start working on that and get it all set up a while before, more than just like during the month of October, so month of March. But overall, Nano went pretty well. It definitely was a lot different this year for me, having in the past where I've been working multiple part-time jobs, balancing a full-time big girl job with the job that I currently am working on top of writing, and the end of doing a play was really intense this year. I had very lofty goals. I originally wanted to write 2,500 words a day, and that just didn't happen. Last week I was able to crank out between 2,000 and 4,000 words a day, depending on the day, but I didn't have as much stamina until that end portion, which I think is because I hadn't really been actively drafting anything in a while where I had in the past. So I had to rebuild up that typing brain stamina. So that would be something, if you are wanting to pound out more words a day, maybe do start with like lower numbers and work up to it, kind of like if you're training for a race or something. But yeah, so I feel like that's most of what I wanted to say about Nano. I'm really glad that people were enjoying it this year and having fun. Some people won for the first time, some people got very close. I feel like this year for a lot of people, not just like within my circle, but like other people that I follow, this year's Nano was a learning experience for them. So I just wanted to go through and like recap all of the really, really cool things that happened this year. This is my second year within the publishing sphere, and a lot happened. So I believe it was February is when the large print edition of the Rituals officially dropped, because I had taken a little bit longer with that, figuring out the formatting and researching it and that sort of thing, and it took me a while to actually get it formatted. So that dropped in February. April I did a musical, so that was kind of that sphere. I was also editing Rebellion, heavily editing, getting it ready. May, I sent it to my editor and she did a great job. I had some amazing betas this year. Like, I am so thankful for my betas. You guys were amazing. So Regina and Becca and Joshi and Caroline, like, you were amazeballs, and I am so happy for all of you to be in my life. Thank you. I'm picking my nail polish. I do that out of habit. Does anybody else do that? Like, I did my nails this nice pretty green, and now that one's like destroyed. That one's also been like coming off. And I didn't bring it with me to fix it for a whole week, and I probably should have. Yeah, and then just kept editing and stuff, and Rebellion came out in August. In July, I was on the news, which was so crazy. The links for all of the media stuff that I did this year are on my website. In the About Me section, there is a whole section dedicated to media, which I never thought I would have, which is crazy. I was on the news in not one, but 2 local stories in our local news station, talking about me and my writing in the upcoming publication, and then how I use social media to talk to all of you and to try to encourage you to work on your writing, and to show that, like, being an author is not fancy, I guess. It's like a real down-to-earth process, and authors have screw-ups and authors have great moments. I was in a magazine. That one I really didn't talk about a lot. I had a very bad experience with that person that owned that company. At some point I may do like a story time thing about that if you want, because it was definitely a learning experience for me, being a young female entrepreneur dealing with a older female business owner. Yeah, so if you want that story time, I do still have screenshots of all of the stuff that went down, just for my personal sake. So if that's something you'd be interested in, eventually I could do that. But it was really cool to be selected to be a part of the magazine, whether or not the experience was great. I was in my first book box, so if you are now following me because you got The Rituals or Rebellion in the fresh fiction book box, that was an amazing experience, and so cool to have my ebook be available for you to get, and I hope you have enjoyed it. What else happened? Like, there's just been so much this year that it's like hard to keep track of, and that's crazy, and I never thought that would happen within a year of me being published. It's literally like I am in the second year now. I published 2 books within 1 year, which I didn't like. You hear people doing that and you're like, oh no. And I want to make this very clear. most of what I have written so far was pre-written. I did not fully write and draft the Rituals and Rebellion within a year. That did not happen. I had my 3rd year anniversary on YouTube, which I also was planning on doing something for, and then I just completely passed it by. Being a great YouTuber. We've almost hit 100 subscribers on this channel. It's been really cool. Like, all of a sudden, around NaNoWriMo, all of the subscribers like jumped. I was like, oh my god, there's so many new people. So now we're almost to 100 people. It's been a very slow build, but I kind of appreciate that. I don't, as much as I would like to have like some cool like breakout and have a ton of people get a hold of my books, I like the slow, steady build. I feel like some of you I've been able to get a sort of friendship with, between messaging back and forth in the comments, even if it hasn't been a ton. I do recognize people that do comment quite a bit, so if you are one of those people, hello, thank you for always commenting. Yeah, I feel like I'm missing a whole bunch of things that happened. I had a list somewhere and then it got deleted, so I can't really reference it. But up into the coming year, I've definitely had a lot of people asking me about the Rituals 3. I'm in the process of rereading the Rituals and Rebellion and just like picking out all those plot points that I had put there for the purpose of continuing the series and what things I need to build on and look into, and I'm making that list of like the timelines because there is multiple points of views. I have them all broken up and I'm making notes within each one. I don't have a publication idea date for it because I haven't written a single word of it yet, but I am planning on starting it as soon as 2020 comes, so in like less than a week, which is crazy, but I don't have a deadline, so I can take as long as I want to. I don't want to take too long because I know there's people that want to read it, but that is my goal. My general writing plan for 2020 as of right now, which is very flexible, as I said, there's no deadlines, really. I would like to get at least 50,000 words, which shouldn't be too difficult. At least 50,000 words of Rituals 3 written by April 1st. At that point, I would take a little month-long break and go back to Project Gigi, look at that, work on that for the month of April for Camp NaNoWriMo, and then jump back into Rituals 3, block that out, work on that, and go from there. I don't think at that point it will be done. I am not going to say it will be done because I don't want to put that pressure on myself at this point. But it would be really cool if it was. Someone has asked me about when the next time I could be in a book box would be, and with new work, the earliest I could be in a box would be December of 2020. I'm not going to force myself to crank out the book within a year because, as I said, both Rebellion and the Rituals had drafts previously written. Last November, when I started working on Rebellion, I already had 50,000 words written prior in 2016 NaNoWriMo that I was building off of and then writing another 50,000 words, and it got cut down to 80,000 words. So that tells you something. I write long and redundant, and then I gotta chop it out. But also I underwrite. It's weird. I write really, really bad first drafts, which is why I'm looking at the draft that I'd be writing through March as sort of a zero draft. I really like that idea of having a zero draft. I just realized I was leaning way far forward when I originally started back here. So yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. I do have plans for writing on the horizon, but I'm just kind of letting it do its thing right now. As I say, everything is a marathon within publishing. It's not a sprint. I do not intend to be a breakout, even though like I did have some really great highlights for this year. Like, I've been published on 3 continents. I am banned in China. Somehow that happened, at least in this one store. I hit number 29. Like, there has been some really great things this year, but I'm not going to force them in 2020. I will let it build and grow and read, because I finally am getting out of a reading slump, and just let everything happen. Down in the comments below, let me know what projects you plan on working on in 2020, what some of your goals are, and what is the thing you are proudest of that happened in 2019. Yeah, I want to know, how was your year? Like, 2019 for me was much better than 2018 in many ways. There were still a lot of things that went not well, but there was a lot of things that went really well, and it was a really great learning year for me. I am happy with 2019. But 2020, I'm hoping will be better. It's the start of a new decade. This last one was really cool. It's when I started writing. It's when I was published. So I think I'll always look fondly on the tens decade. But what are you looking forward to in 2019? What was the thing you're proudest of in 2019? I'm just repeating everything I just said. So, because of that, I am going to go with all of my flashy Christmas lights, and yeah. All of my social media links will be down below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. It's kind of rambly, but that's my content, is rambly and honest and not really edited because you're on my phone. Yeah, I love you all. Happy holidays, happy Christmas, or whatever you celebrate. And I will see you in the new year. I love you all. Bye!